What's up, guys? This is another video in the series Programming Fundamentals. In this video, we're going to be going over logical operators, what they are, why we use them, and why they're important. You guys have to understand logical operators before we can do if statements and while loops. So I'm just going to give you a quick little overview. So if you have an if statement, there's some type of code in here. This is going to be a condition, a true or false condition. If this is true, you're going to do this code. If this is false, you're going to skip over the code and go under the brackets. So if it's true, you're going to do whatever's in the brackets. If it's false, you're going to skip it. So when you have, let's say you have an if statement that has condition 1. I'm going to run out of space. All right, let's say you have an if statement with condition 1 and then a condition 2. For example, let's say you need both of these to be true. You would use the AND operator. Let's say you only need one of these to be true and the other one can be false or true. Then you would use the OR operator. So, and then the other operator is the NOT operator, and that's the opposite. So, so if it's true, it's false. If it's false, it's true. So I'm going to go over these three right now. So like I said, we have the and that is represented, and I never can draw them, but I'll do my best, by a double and symbol from your computer. When I write, I just use this symbol to represent that. So that's the first one. The next one is an OR, and that is represented with 2 lines. And the last one is NOT, and that is represented with an exclamation mark. So let's just go over these right now. So we have 3 of them. So for and, all your conditions in parentheses have to be true. So they all have to be true. For or, there's 2 things. They can all be true, or one can be true and the rest can be false. Not's really simple. It's the opposite. So let's just go through this table here. I'm going to make a table. In this table, we're going to have false, false, true, true. And we're going to have false, true, false, true. These represent your conditions and combinations. This is going to be and. This is going to be or. So let's just go through here. So remember, and has to be all true. So for this, if we have false and false, none of them are true. So this is false. If we have false and true, well, we have one true, but the other one is false, so this is false. We have true and false. Well, remember, and means they all have to be true, so this is also false. Now we have true and true. So this is true. Now let's just go over or. So for or, false and false is going to mean false because they're all false, so obviously that condition is false. So the next one is false or true. Remember, they can all be true or at least one has to be true. So since this is true, this would be true. Let's go here. True or false? Well, this is true. Remember, one of them can be true or all of them, but at least one. So this is true. Well, both are true, so this would be true. So that is really simple. They're really not complicated, and I'm going to do a couple more complex examples here in a minute, but I want to do one more table here, and that is going to be for not. And so if you would have a condition like this, that would be, this is the symbol for not in code. So not false. Remember, all not is the opposite, so this would be true. And if we would have it for true, remember this is the symbol, the opposite of true is false. So let's just go through a couple examples here. So if we would have it a statement like this, true and true and true, this would equal true because they are all true. But if we change, all it takes, if we change this to false, this condition to false, now remember these represent individual conditions. So if this condition is false now, they're not all true. They have to be all true for and. So now this would be false. Let's do one with or. So true or true or true. Well, remember true can be all true or one is true, at least one, but they're all true. So this would be true. If we change this to be false, it's still true. If we change this to be false, it's still true. Now, if we change this one to be false, well, now it's false because they're all false now. So when you do or, they are all true. They can all be true, or at least one has to be true. So I'm going to do a real example here. Let's just say we have some variables here. X equals 30, Y equals 40, Z equals 50. Let's just say we have if X equals 10, or I'll go Y equals 40, code. So this is saying if X equals 10, well, X doesn't equal 10, so this condition is going to be false. Well, Y, remember this is Y. Well, Y equals 40, this is true. And remember with or, at least one has to be true. So false or true would be true, which would mean you would do this code. So let's just do another one here. So let's say we have X equals 30 and Y equals 40. And this is pseudocode. I know it's not exact right syntax for any language, but this is just pseudocode. Or Z equals 60. So let's do this. So now how are we going to do this? Well, we have to add parentheses. So when we have parentheses, we would first do this equation. So x equals 30 is true, and y equals 40 is true. So this would come out to be true and true, since they're both true, to be true. Now let's bring this down. Now z equals 60, which is false. So we'll just bring false down. Now, true or false, remember, when we have or, it can all be true, or one has to at least be true. Well, we have one is true, the other one is false. So this statement is true, then you would do the code. I want to do one more example, and it's going to be this one. If so this is saying if x equals 10 and y equals 20, not or z equals 30. Code, just write some x equals 10, y equals 20, z equals 40. So let's just go through this real quick. So x equals 10, this is true, because you're going to do this parentheses first. So x equals 10, that's true. And y equals 20, which is true. Now it's going to bring this statement to be true. Now we have, one sec, guys. Now this is true. So now what we have left, I'm going to erase this. What we have left now is not true, or, so z equals 30 is false. So we have not true from this to false. So next, what are we going to, so we have two operators here left. We have not or false. So we have to look at what has higher preference here. So the not operator has the highest preference, then it's and, then it's or. So we're going to do this one first. And this is going to turn this to false. And now this is going to equal false, which means we won't do the code in there. So let's sum this up, guys. So we went over three operators, and, or, not. This has the double and symbol, which I can never draw, and it's all are true. Or is the two lines, it's at least one is true, or all. Not, which is represented with an exclamation mark, is opposite. And then the last thing I want to note is the order of operations. When you have a compound one, like this example, you have to follow the order of operations with not going first, followed by the and going second, then followed by the or, if there's no parentheses. If there's parentheses, this is if no parentheses. If there are parentheses, do what's in the parentheses first, just like math. So guys, the next video in this series is going to be condition statements, if statements, else if statements, and else statements. So that is what's going to be next. Stay tuned, guys. Again, hit the subscribe button and give me a thumbs up. Thank you, guys.